Hi YouTube. Today's short little video is going to be about blind hemming on a sewing machine and using your blind hem foot. I am a big believer that you should learn how to utilize all aspects of your sewing machine. I think a lot of people get scared by certain stitches or ways of using a sewing machine that isn't just your straight, stitch where you can see it and easily pick it out. So today I was working on the skirt portion of my Red Riding Hood costume, and I decided I was going to blind hem it versus top stitch or hand hem it, because that takes so long and probably come out with just about the exact same results in terms of visible threads on the outside. So I'm just going to go over a couple of tricks and tips that I personally use for when I'm trying to blind hem stuff so that it comes out as good as it can be. So yeah, if you're wondering what a blind hem is, so here's a little sample. So this, you can just barely see the little prick stitches on the outside. There's just little ones. You can see that one right there better because it is, in the middle of the red. But so yeah, that's your blind hem, what it looks like from the outside. This is obviously a little scrap. On the inside, it ends up looking like this, and also like this. This is the biggest thing that one needs to learn to understand, how to prep their hem so that you sew it like this into a machine. Once you learn, and I'm going to show you some tricks, once you learn how to get it into this position every single time without overthinking it, then you will be a blind hem master. I'm going to not do it on that fabric. I'm going to show you this on a light cotton that I have with dark thread so that you can see the stitches as they go along. And yeah, so we'll cut to that now. Okay, so the most important part of doing a blind hem is setting up your hem correctly. Okay, so we'll pretend this is the right side, the outside of my garment. This is going to be the inside. This is where the seams would be. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to press up your fold under. And I mean, you don't have to. If you want to just use a serged edge, you can just use a serged edge. And then you're going to press your hem into place where it's supposed to be. So this one, I've got a 1-inch hem with a little 5/8 underlap, which is pretty normal on a pattern, I feel like, for a hem. Okay, so the big trick here is to not pin this the way that you normally would. Okay, so you're pinning, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pin like this. No, don't pin like that. This is where pinning, to me, in a blind hem is 90% of the success. Okay, rather than pinning you think you're gonna put it in your machine and normally you got your pins going this way or this way. Because some people like to pin this way. Don't. You think, oh, I pull my pins out this way. No. You're going to take your pin. You're going to set it down. I usually, because I'm thinking about a stitch here. When because your stitch goes straight, zig, right? Straight, zig. So I'm going to think roughly about slightly larger than where I want that to be. And I'm going to have the pin head going up into the garment. Pin head going up into the garment. And then pin like that. Okay? So however comfortable you feel you need, how often to pin your fabric, you put your pins in. Okay? I am not the pin police. You do not need to pin every inch. You do not need to pin every 6 inches or whatever. So whatever you feel comfortable with when you're putting pins in. I'm putting in more than I normally would use. I would probably pin here and here for myself, but especially this is a straight up grain, but use the pins that you like to use. So what does this do? This does this lovely thing. So you lift this up and you fold it, and it creates this lovely fold. So this is where you're actually going to be stitching. This right here is where your straight stitches are going to go. Straight stitch, straight stitch, it's zig. Catch this fold. Straight stitch, straight stitch, straight stitch, zig. Catch this fold. So that's actually, this is how it sets it up. I find that this way sets it up really nice. Gives you an easy, sliding, it gives you an easy, like it's ready to go. You don't have to fuss around. So at this point, we're going to go over to the sewing machine, which is here. I have my foot already set up. So let's pull you off of here and go in for some. All right. So every machine is a little different. This is my machine's blind hem foot. This is what it looks like. There's Bernina's look a little bit different. This is a pretty standard one for most home machines, though. I wish I had a Bernina. So, what is going on with this foot? You have a couple of things. You've got this little bit. This is going to help guide your fabric right there. And then this little screw helps adjust that bit in relation to your needle. Okay, so let's now look at my stitches. So this is my, I have a weight. There it is. I have a weight. This is like super old. I've had this since I was 18. So what stitch we're going to use, these are our stretch stitches. So we're looking at the top line. We are looking at this stitch right here. So this one is going to give us straight stitch, zig, straight stitch, zig, straight stitch, zig. All right. So that's what we're setting it on. I've got it set. You can adjust this however you want. If you want to go big or smaller, I like to go around 3-ish. That's what I sew most of my stuff on. And then we're going to adjust my, this is how I adjust my zigzags on this particular machine. So I'm going to put it right kind of there in the middle in this one. So when you've got your fabric folded out like this, let's see, that little white foot is going to actually run along this. It's going to sit on top of this fold. It's going to run along the edge of this. So that's what is going to keep this from getting too far over this way when you're stitching. So you need to set up beforehand and run some tests, practice tests, to see exactly where you need to adjust this so that the size, zigzag, and stitch length that you want puts your needle just catching right barely into this. Okay, so when you have this set up, your stitches are gonna just hit the top of this and then zig over and hit this. So you can adjust this little guide to shove your fabric around so that you get it in exactly the right location. So over, and then that's why that other foot. Pull your pins out right as they, if you've got this set up the way that you should, you are going to end up with a lovely little zig. Okay, so when you unfold it, it's going to look like that. Now, if this was color matched, you wouldn't even see those stitches. So, like I said, 90% of a blind hem is in your setup. If you get this down, if you take the time to get this all set up right, then the rest is a piece of cake. Oh, see, and then here I missed a little spot because it shifted. So that's how you can tell. Yeah. But, and that's not bad. Like if it's a little spot, that one's a little bit big. You can just literally go right back to that spot. Go right back over it if you need to. Because again, if you've got it set up right, and if you've got matching thread, you're never going to see these.